G'day, Michael, and thanks for checking in on the bias opinion. So it's been, a month or so since we spoke to you last when you first made the announcement?
I think it's been about 6-7 weeks, actually. I checked the other day how long I've been in Europe, and I thought it was about a month, and I think it's been 6 weeks or even 7. So,
Jeez. You've raced nearly every weekend that whole time, haven't you?
yeah, the first few weeks were full on, and then I chose to have a weekend off in the middle because we've got a busy schedule coming up. So I just wanted to make sure I was well rested and ready to go for these next big races. We've got World Cups coming up in Scotland and Puffendale, so I've had a busy schedule, but I've chosen to have particular weekends off in between just to make sure I'm rested and ready to go.
So no injuries so far. You've managed to keep yourself in one piece.
Yeah, touch wood. Yeah, I think in our sport, it's inevitable you're going to crash at some point. I had a little fall on the weekend where I got a few cuts and bruises, but nothing too serious. And yep, ready to go for the next one.
So while I didn't see the crash, I did see a photo of you stuck in the fence. There's no damage to anyone in particular. No damage to bikes or anything. It must have hurt hitting a fence rather than, just running into bunting or something, which would normally happen.
Yeah, the Quillen actually hit the fence. The way that track was designed, the last turn kind of went round and then had a drop off, and then there was a metal barrier down the side. So he hit the fence. I landed on the rocks and stuff on my stomach.
Oh, God.
So a little bit winded and a few cuts, but nothing too serious. And Quillen seems to be okay considering like how big the drop in the fence was. So it's good we both got away unscathed. And like I said, ready for the next one. There's the Glasgow World Cup in just over a week. So that's what we're all aiming for.
So when do you head off for that?
So we've got a French Cup this weekend on the other side of France, which is a big drive. We'll go on Friday. We'll drive back Sunday evening, and then I'll go to Glasgow on Monday afternoon. And then, yeah, spend the week there, hopefully get a few times on the track, a few practice laps, and race that weekend. And then following weekend's a European Cup in Holland, and then the following weekend's a World Cup in Holland as well. So it really is
almost non-stop, isn't it?
Yeah. I think if you wanted it to be, it could be non-stop.
So that's a big difference to what you had in New Zealand the last couple of years. It must be really good to get back into the flow and back into the rhythm.
Yeah, like I think I've raced more in the last 2 months and 24 months. and it's been cool because I think all the races I've done are high quality events. Like the first race I did, I was here for less than a week. It was the European Cup round, what was it, 1 and 2? Yeah, in Verona, and like we had all the Olympic medalists there, and it was stacked. So that was cool. And then the French Cup's absolutely ridiculous. I knew they were stacked, but then after going to the one a few weeks ago, it was ridiculous how crazy it was. So all the events I've done have been really high quality, which means you can't sort of slack off or take it easy in motos. You've got to be on the whole day, which I enjoy, and that's how you're going to get better.
So have you noticed any change in your riding style or the way you race over the last 7 or so weeks?
There's been like little bits that I've had to remind myself to do. Like I'll have one day where I'll probably be a bit too cautious and almost wait for things to happen. And then the next day I'll turn the aggression up a little bit more and I'll have a good day. I'll make the final. So there's little bits like that, but I think that's part of racing always, that you've always got to adapt. Maybe you're being a bit too aggressive, maybe you're being a bit too cautious. So you're always adapting and learning to the track as well. Some tracks are rubbish for overtaking, some tracks are brilliant for overtaking, so you can focus more on getting a good gate or not. So each track has presented different sort of problems or different scenarios to face, and yeah, I've definitely become more confident. I remember sitting on the gate in Verona, which was my first race, in the final, when I looked across and it's Sylvain Andre, Carlos. I mean, the final was obviously, it's like a World Cup final, and I just sat there and I was like, I felt like I belonged there. I felt like I deserved that spot just as much as anyone else did, which was a pretty cool feeling.
So what's your favourite track you've ridden so far?
Favourite track I've ridden? Stuttgart on the weekend was pretty cool. I mean, it was pretty hard. We drove there on Friday. We got an hour and a bit practice. But you're kind of cautious. You don't want to overdo it. You don't want to sort of do a million laps and then blow yourself out for the weekend. So you're kind of being a little bit cautious, but you want to learn the track. And because it's so technical and big, I think you've got to get repetitions under your belt before you can actually attack it in racing. So I think for racing on the weekend, I wasn't at 100% or 110% in terms of being comfortable. I still did a few cases and overjumps, which isn't normal for me. So that's probably my favorite track, even though the results weren't great. It was definitely my favorite track to ride. And I think we should have more sort of big events at tracks like that. And Glasgow in a few weeks, that looks also really good. Looks steep, technical, and wide open. So I'm excited for
that. So you would have had to learn a fair bit about the culture and the language and that sort of thing living in France. What's the hardest thing to adapt to so far?
The hardest thing, nothing's actually been too hard. Obviously, the language barrier, you can't talk to the kids at the track as easy as you can in sort of New Zealand. You can't go to a dairy or a restaurant and order as easy as you can in New Zealand. But that's
What's a
probably the
dairy?
hardest thing.
What's
A
a dairy?
dairy. Do you not call it a dairy? A corner store.
A milk bar?
A milk bar. Yeah, okay.
Have you been taught all the local slang and sayings and stuff?
I have actually. I have. I've been so lucky. Yeah, I've been so lucky this first few months just for the people I've met, the people that have helped me along the way. I've stayed with so many different people to this point now, and yeah, every sort of person, couple I stay with, they teach you different things from where they're from. They might teach you some slang from Leon and then somewhere else. So it's been really cool, and I think I've been trying really hard to learn the language. So I've learned like a million different phrases, how to say I don't know, I don't care, etc. So yeah, it's been fun, and I can't wait to continue it.
Have you had to do any foreign language interviews?
It'd be a waste of time at this stage.
Surely you can say, what, Je m'appelle Michael.
Yeah, that's about it. That's about it for an interview.
So you'd probably have to say you'll be better prepared for this upcoming World Cup series than you have ever been, really, with this kind of racing you've had. How much more confident are you going in knowing a lot more about your competition and having ridden against so many of them over these past weeks?
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely the most confident I've ever been, and I still feel like there's so much more to grow. Like I feel like in my head it's just the beginning. I've never had an opportunity like this to do a whole season, and this is my first one. So there's no way I can be near my potential, near fulfilling my potential. So I'm definitely confident going into these World Cups, but it's BMX at the end of the day. Like I've already proven to myself that I'm fast enough, but I've also proven to myself that you need to be consistent. Like there'll be one day where I'll go in the 8th final, and the next day I'm in the final. So for these World Cups, I've just got to make sure I can put it all together on the weekend and get a few good results and start being consistently in that top 16 and the top 8 in the final. So it's BMX at the end of the day. So you can be confident, you can be physically good, mentally good, but who knows without sport? But yeah,
Big luck factor, isn't it?
Yeah, lots of luck involved. But I think if you're good enough, then you can make your own luck. But no, I always go back to the saying in my head that when you're on a gate of 8 guys, no matter how good they are, that 8 of them can't have a good lap. It's impossible.
Mm.
It's really impossible. So I want to be that guy that's having a good lap and sort of fighting for that that spot on 4th. If it's a semi-final at a World Cup right now, I don't think I'm at the position where I can whole shot it. But it definitely doesn't mean I can't be 3rd or 4th or even 2nd. So yeah, I actually both finals I've been in so far, I don't know whether it's just because it was me, but I think I had a chance to be on the podium at both finals, which was a pretty cool feeling. It sucked because I watch it back, I'm like, man, like if I'd just done that, I could have been on the podium. But at the end of the day, to have the opportunity to get on the podium is a cool feeling in itself, and I know it will come with time. So
Were you
keep going.
expecting the results to come as quickly as they had?
But to be honest, no. Like the first week I came here, I was on a new bike, new everything, new tires, which I hadn't changed tires in, I don't know, 15 years. I'd been on Maxxis, so new tires, new bike, new cranks, new helmet, new gear. Like it all, I just felt like an alien almost. I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to perform to. It was a new gearing as well, new size gear. There's no way I'm going to be able to perform to my best. And to be honest, Verona was probably the best I've ever ridden with that field. And then the French Cup with the level to make the final, do some good overtakes. Some of the names that didn't make the final there as well. It exceeded my expectations, but at the same time, like that's why I came. I came to be in the final, but then to do it so quickly, it was like, whoa, okay, got to back this up now. It's a funny old thing. You want results, and when you get the results, you need more.
Yeah.
It's a never-ending thing. So that's cool.
We've spoken a little bit in the past about your start not being your strongest part of your race. Has that changed much over the last few weeks?
Well, it certainly hasn't become the strongest part of my race. I don't think it ever will. Like I've got really good strengths around the track and stuff.
Yeah.
So, but no, my starts definitely got better. I think in Verona, my starts were really good in my 8th final, quarterfinal. I can't remember, but I was second into the first turn ahead of some pretty big names as well. So it's getting better. It's finding the consistency with my gait now, and it's all belief. Like Jeremy, I was joking with him the other day. Every interview I've done, I've mentioned how good Jeremy's been to me. But yeah, just having him, someone who's in my eyes one of the fastest in the world down the ramp, just as a roommate and someone I can train with every day. He's helped me so much with the belief out the gate. He's helped me a little bit with technique, but he's just given me reassurance that what I'm doing is the right thing and I'm on the right track. And it's just sort of having that belief. And yeah, like he's helped me so much in terms of believing in my start. I believe in myself around the track, but obviously you can't start from last every single race and manage to claw back into fourth. So there's been a few races where I've really surprised myself with my starts, and yeah, it's starting to become a not so bad sort of weakness.
Yeah. So have you been following Rico Beerman's progress over in the States?
Yeah, I've watched all the. Well, I didn't actually watch the one on the weekend. We were racing at the same time, so I couldn't watch too much of the American series on the weekend. But the first, was it 2, Houston and Rock Hill, I watched quite closely, and it was cool. It's good to see a Kiwi on the international scene on the other side of the world, but he's coming over this side of the world now for the World Cup, so it'll be cool to see the Kiwis in the Euro scene as well.
So he's senior elite now, isn't he?
Well, he's under 23, so he's
that's right.
Normally, the old system he's elite, but he's racing under 23 this year. But in America, he's actually chosen to race elite, I think. So I don't know how the whole under 23 elite thing works, but I'm pretty sure you can jump up and down except World Cups. So World Cups, you've got to sort of stay at 1 the whole year, maybe. Maybe you can go up, but you can't come down. But you can't go under 23 elite, under 23 for World Cups. But for every other race, I think you can, which I think is a bit weird. But anyway, so he's been racing elite in America, which is good, jumping the deep end with the big boys. And I think he made a final in Tulsa.
I saw him on the top of a podium, but that I think was a B main with Max Cairns.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, Max is over there as well.
Yeah, there's quite more Aussies than I expected. I didn't realise Wade Turner was heading over there too. So I don't know. I know that Max is heading your way. I think Kai Hill, but I don't know if Wade's on the trip to Glasgow as well or not.
Oh, cool. I think Ollie Moran's coming as well. So it's cool to see some Aussies and stuff come over, because when I was first on the elite scene, there was definitely more Aussies present on the European scene than there is now. So hopefully Aussie New Zealand can climb back up the ladder and become more of a staple on the European scene. I remember when I was sort of first in elite, there was dare I say it, Juster, Frieswick, Bodie, Josh Cullen, They were all doing the European circuit as well, so it was cool to see that, and cool to see them all come back over again.
So, are there many female riders riding for New Zealand right now?
Yeah, so we've got actually a good talent pool in the under 23 junior, both of those, and then we've got Rebecca in elite. So,
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure Rebecca's doing any World Cups this year. I'm not sure on
Okay.
that, but I know the younger girls are coming over. I'm going to race under 23.
It'd be a
Yeah.
shame not to see her at a World Cup. She was making so much progress.
Yeah, I'm actually not too sure what's going on with all that. I just had a message from one of the girls, Megan, that she's coming over, so that'll be cool to see her, and she'll race under 23, I'd say.
So how does that work for you then? Do you hang out with your team, or do you hang out with the New Zealand crew when you're at Glasgow?
Well, I've got no support from New Zealand, so
Oh right.
I'll be doing it on my own. Where I think the other lot have all got support from federation, so that they'll, yeah. I don't know how that works. I'm not included with the whole
Do they
systems.
do they put all the extra people like you who don't have country support in a pen together and let you look after each other? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So normally I'm sitting with like a few from Chile, a couple from Venezuela. The rejects. It's the reject tent.
They're all pretty friendly though, right?
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I don't really talk to anyone when you're in the tent. You just kind of put your water there, put your food there, get your food, go warm down,
Yeah.
race, come back. So I guess the cool thing is I've done it this way since I was forever. So it's nothing new for me, and I enjoy my own space and my alone time. So whatever.
Yeah. So once racing's finished, that changes though, doesn't it? You seem to get along pretty well with all the rest of the riders on the circuit.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, I love the friendships you have away from the bike. But when it comes to racing, I like to just sort of do my own thing and focus on myself. I don't want too many distractions around me. But no, I think I've found the French riders a lot more accommodating than maybe I predicted. I don't know, just sort of I thought a Kiwi coming over, riding for a club, riding for a team, maybe it'd be like a little bit of an imposter, but they've been so accommodating and welcoming, and I love it. Honestly, the French Cup that I did a few weeks ago was so cool. That was probably my favorite moment so far of the trip. It was something that I've always wanted to do as a French Cup, and I said in an interview in Verona that like I've always based myself off a French rider. Like I think I've always been technical and good at overtaking, and that's something the French riders excel in. So to come to a French Cup and race, and it was insane. I had such like a pinch me moment that night on the couch. I was like, man, I was racing against Joris Dorday today. Like he's someone I used to look up to when I was 14, 15. Now I'm racing with him, so it's pretty cool.
Since you've probably got your finger on the pulse as far as racing goes over in Europe, is there anyone we should look out for specifically when the World Cup comes around?
I think in the under 23 class, it's going to be quite competitive. Like one of the boys that rides for our club, Leo Garian, he won the opening round of the European Cup, or the second round, sorry, in elite men, and he's going to be racing under 23. So that's I think the under 23 class is going to be pretty heavy, pretty full on. But then in the elite class, I think it continues to show that it's so unpredictable. I think there's so many people that can step up and make a final or a podium. And I think Germany showed on the weekend that if you've ridden the track and you've got a bit of experience on that track, it makes a lot of difference. So maybe the GB boys will be good in Glasgow, and the Dutch boys will be good at Papendal. But I think a track like Papendal, we've all ridden it enough to feel pretty comfortable. But Glasgow, no one seems to really have ridden since European champs 4 years ago. So it'll be good. Bit of a neutral track.
So I thought Glasgow was being built for the World Championships coming up, is it next year? So is it actually an established track that's been there a while?
Yes, I think the first race I did was 2018. They had the European champs. I don't think they've raced on it since. Oh, sorry, the British have had like a national champs on it, but they haven't had like an international race on it since then. So yeah, I guess maybe they'll make some changes for the world champs. Yeah, been there for a while.
You sound very relaxed, and it's good to see. I think every time we spoke to you last time you were in Europe, you didn't know whether you're coming or going, and you were injured and ill, and yeah, you seem a lot more at peace with everything right now, which is it's good to see.
Yeah, thank you. It was hard to take last year. I think the position I was in, it was such a cool opportunity to train with Twine leading into the Worlds at Papendal, and then to have everything that went on, I was like, man, I just blew my chance. That was sort of my chance to best chance I'll ever get. And then no, when this has come around, it's like, okay, this is pretty cool, and it's surreal for me. Like, got my own apartment, get to train with the guys here, and be a professional BMXer. It's something that I didn't think was possible for me. So we all come from different walks of life, but it's a pretty cool thing for me from New Zealand to be able to do this. So I'm very relaxed and content, but also very hungry for some racing.
That's what I meant to ask you. Have you become a bit of a novelty at the track? People ask you to say certain sayings or anything like that, just because of your accent.
In English,
Yeah.
I think in France, like, the English is a lot worse than other countries. So like a lot of people actually don't speak bugger all English, or more it's me saying things in French that they get a kick out of. But no, like I said, I enjoy it. I want to speak French, and I'm glad people don't speak English. Otherwise, we'll just revert to speaking English, and I've never learned French. So it's traveling with a team. We've got a team bus that we travel to the races in, and there's heaps of younger junior riders, and we've got some elite riders, and that's kind of when you learn the most French. We've spent so much time in that van traveling around Europe already. You might be in the car for 9 hours or something, and you just learn, teaching them English, they're teaching me French. So it's so cool. It's the things.
They have to often find themselves repeating what they said in French in English just so you'd understand and be part of the joke as well.
Half the joke, to be honest, is just saying it. Like, one of the boys was learning English, and he tried to say the days of the week, and that was hilarious. Just he was like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday. But no, that's been great, and a great group of guys. I'm so lucky that I've had all this set up, and I guess it comes from my team manager Dorian at Inspire. He's helped me get the club, and since being at the club, they've been awesome to me as well. So I'm very lucky, very fortunate, and grateful for this opportunity.
So what do you reckon? Should we catch up with you just after the Glasgow World Cup, or are you going to put together some video interviews for us so we can check them out, or are you going to be too busy? What do you think?
Yeah, maybe after Papendal World Cup. That's
okay.
I think the first or second week of June, and then basically from there, I should know if I'm selected for the Worlds, which is kind of a goal of mine this year, is to race the Worlds here in France. I think they're going to be absolutely insane, and with the crowd and everything, I think the track will be awesome. So that's kind of a short-term goal to get selected for the Worlds and then get to the World Champs this year. So maybe we can chat after Papendal, and I'll have a better indication if I'll be going to the Worlds. So fingers crossed I get selected.
So do you know what the selection criteria is?
No.
Well, you're national champ currently too, aren't you?
Yeah.
So it should be a no-brainer.
Yeah. No, I've had that attitude in the past, and it didn't work too well. So no, I'm just going to sort of do my best, and that's what I've done to get here, and my results in the last 2 months have been pretty good. So hopefully they take that in consideration, and I'm aiming to do some good stuff at these World Cups as well. So I'll do my best and see how it goes.
I'll make sure I watch them from now on.
I'll send you the highlights.
Oh, sounds good. All right, thanks, Michael, for joining us. I reckon we've got enough to keep people entertained. Until next time.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Good luck with all the racing and the travelling and work and everything else.
Thank you. And talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon. See you, mate.